withipover50.com. So you're thinking about moving to England. You're wondering, how are you going to restart your life once you get here? Well, that's a great question. It's one that I've been working through since I moved back here several years ago. And of course, the pandemic kind of threw a wrench into my plans to get integrated here. But this is what I've learned. So I'm currently house kitty sitting for a friend in the countryside. And as I passed through their village, I saw a sign for the village hall having a coffee morning. This is the hub of village life here in England, is the town hall or the village hall. The very next important hub is the local pub. And some towns have both, some have one that's more important than the other, but that is where you will meet your neighbors, is at the village hall. And there will be constantly events, everything from coffee mornings where you can just go have a chat to possibly even yoga lessons. Anything is possible. So, and they'll have films, they'll have little, maybe bingo nights, anything is possible. So if you live in a village and you want to get to know your neighbors, go to the village hall. The second place you go to is the village pub or the local. That is kind of the real social hub of the village or even a town or a neighborhood, is the local. And you don't have to drink. People often will get something called a lime and soda and just sit there and chat with your neighbors and find out what's going on in the world. So that is one way to find out who is in the neighborhood and what they're doing and how you can become a part of it. Now, if you live in a town, it's a little bit different. You will probably be living in a neighborhood and you will find your local pub and you can go there. There's also opportunities to get involved in local charities. Tons and tons of charity shops here for all different charities, like anything from cancer research to cats and dogs homes. So choose your passion and volunteer if you have the time and the energy. That's another great way to meet people. Of course, and then there's sports. I mean, people play tennis here, they play golf here. There's something called Skittles, there's bowls. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can get involved with if you want to. When you go into the bigger cities like London, well, London is basically a lot of big neighborhoods. And of course, you have the world at your doorstep in London. Anything you could possibly want to do, from theater to museums, literary things. I mean, you can have your pick. Now, it might be harder to get to know people in a big city. That might be one of the downsides, but it can be done. I was on a website called meetup.com back in the US, and they have that here in England as well. So, for example, I joined when I got here, and they will have walking groups in your area. So you can go in a walking group and go walking. Somebody will guide it and you can go and meet people and chat with them that way. That's another way to get to know people. They have all sorts of events, social events. So I highly recommend meetup.com. It's a great way to get involved in a lot of different, see what's out there in terms of, sporting, social events that you can do with like-minded folks. So I think you'll find it's not easy to integrate into any new culture or any new environment. It does take effort. I would not recommend moving out into the middle of nowhere because you will find it a lot harder to kind of get stuck in, as they say here, and kind of find out where your place is in the community. Villages are a great place, and of course, each village is going to have its different character and different personality, just as towns do. But a village is going to give you the opportunity to meet neighbors and kind of be known and find out what's going on, what you can get involved in if you want to get involved in something. And there's usually a little village shop, a village post office, and of course the pub, like I said. So that's a way to give you a little sense of community. And most villages are connected by a bus route, so you can possibly get around if you don't want to have a car. And that is true, again, of towns and cities. So there's a lot of different ways you can get involved in the community. It's really as much effort as you want to put into it. But I would say you would not have any problem finding things that you enjoy doing here and pursuing the passions and maybe finding some new ones. So I hope that was helpful. Of course, if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'd love to answer them. And if you'd like to like and subscribe, so much the better. I hope to see you here soon. Bye for now.